Okay.
All right.
Hi.
Now we're back.
Welcome back. We're going to start over because we were sideways and we don't like being sideways. So, I'm Lance. This is Steffi. And we're going to talk tonight about, we're going to be talking about nutrition. And if you didn't catch that earlier, like I said, we're not going to be talking about a lot of, intricate diets and recipes and things like that. We're going to be talking about simple steps. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
We're going to be talking about some simple steps that you can do very, very quickly, very, very easily, that are going to have great health benefits, and you're really going to, I think, enjoy. We've put these into practice, and we would never go back.
Super simple.
Right.
Super easy.
Simple.
You can apply them, and it doesn't really affect the way things taste. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna start really quick with salad because I know that anytime we say, oh, "Okay, we're gonna start eating healthy this week," or "I'm gonna go on a diet," or "I'm gonna get my crap together," we always kind of want to go to salads, especially women. And I don't know about you, but a lettuce salad, it's like the worst thing ever. And then a lot of people will add a half a bottle of ranch, which you might as well just go to McDonald's. That's stupid. So I know this seems pretty basic, but it's kind of something that I've learned to do over the last few months to make my salads more exciting. I prep my food and I love the spinach and arugula mix. I think that we do have to get that at Walmart.
No, it's Aldi's.
It's Aldi's. Okay, we don't go to Walmart anymore. But Aldi's, the spinach arugula mix, or find the spinach arugula mix, the pre-cut stuff. It is so delicious. And then I just pre-cut everything I want in there. I have onion, and I have red pepper, I have yellow pepper, I have almonds, I have chia seeds, flax seeds, sun-dried tomatoes. I'm trying to think of everything I put in there. And I do olives, and I do avocado slices and hummus. Now, the hummus is your first substitution we're going to talk about. I really want to talk about making positive decisions in the foods that you choose for a couple reasons. If they look pretty and they taste good and they're really filling, as in F-I-L-L-I-N-G, then you don't seem to fall off the wagon so quickly. Because if you do a diet, what's going to happen is eventually you're going to have to go off that diet by choice because you lose the weight that you want. And then what's your plan? A lot of times you don't have a plan and then you gain it back. Or you fall off the wagon and you mess up your diet and then you're really mad at yourself. Just don't go on a diet at all. Just make healthy choices. You guys know this. This is not anything new, but I have found personally that when I prep the food and get it ready and I make it really pretty and it tastes really good, then all I do is want to eat it the next day. And when I eat it the next day, I want it to eat it the next day, and I just start craving it, and I basically reboot my mind to want to eat that. So make your salads really, really pretty, and we use hummus, about a tablespoon of hummus or two in my salad. Just mix it all up, and it's so good. I posted the picture of the salad millions of times, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
So that's the first substitute, is using hummus.
Yeah, hummus for salad dressing. And hummus can also be used, if you're not familiar with hummus.
It's delicious.
It's chickpeas, and its taste is very, very, it can be made in anything. There's so many different flavors. And so you can use it as a substitute, as a condiment as well. It is a great replacement for mayonnaise. And if you're a mayo person, or Miracle Whip, which I was, and I was loath to give that up, but I started using, I started substituting hummus, and I've really, really grown to like it. And it's more of a mindset change than anything, just knowing that you're doing something positive for yourself. And so hummus is a great condiment.
Well, it's also very filling too. Like,
yeah.
I have one of my salads with the hummus in it, especially with the avocado slices and the almonds, which are all really good fats. I mean, I am full for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So it works really great that way too.
It also works as a substitute for pasta, Alfredo sauce. You can add like a tub of hummus and just add a little water to it and stir it into your pasta noodles.
It's so good,
and
you
it
guys.
has the consistency of Alfredo sauce. Add some chopped up garlic to it, some basil and some oregano, and you can't tell the difference between that. And I mean, it tastes just as good.
It's really, really
it's
good.
way healthier for you. It's not clogging up your arteries while you're eating it.
Exactly. Baking. He does a lot of baking. And
Yeah.
talk about the sugar substitutes.
Yeah. So if you do some baking, if you like to bake, if you like muffins, brownies, and things like that. This is not new, but if you don't know by now that sugar is a carcinogen, and that sugar is bad for you, and it's the reason why we have such a high case of type 2 diabetes, then you need to read more. But everybody should know that by now. So
you guys, you may not know this though. Everybody has cancer cells in their body. They have cancerous cells, and cancers eat sugar. That's That's literally what they eat. So you really got to stop eating sugar.
Yeah, they did a study where they showed sugar introduced, and they watched the synapses light up in a can of cell, and it was amazing. Like the sugar lit it up because it was feeding off of it. So sugar is out, but the thing is, there's so many great substitutes for sugar, and some of the things that I use, coconut sugar instead of cane sugar. Is a great substitute, and it's kind of even Steven, so you don't get a really funky mix whenever you put it in there. You can use honey as well, and if you get the honey that's local, you get the benefits of being, what am I looking for?
Well, your allergy, when allergy season comes, if you've had local honey, those bees eat that pollen. It will help you with your allergy.
Yeah, it builds an immunity to those local allergens. Agave syrup, which I've got some agave right here. Agave syrup is fantastic. The consistency is really, it's just well balanced, and it mixes well, and so it's a great substitute. Beet juice is a great substitute as well. You got to work with that a little bit to figure out, but it is a natural sugar, and it's fantastic.
Here's some trivia. If you've ever had the low-fat chocolate cake at Chili's, they actually use beet juice for sugar. Mm-hmm. So if you like that, that's what it tastes like.
Yeah. And the last one you've probably heard of before, but stevia, it's a natural product.
And applesauce.
What's that?
Applesauce too.
Yeah, applesauce as well. I don't use applesauce as much in my baking because sometimes it can make it a little bit moist, but you can use it in other things, and it is a great substitute. And then I do like stevia, but you just have to work with that mix a little bit because too much of it and you've really gotten away from it. But those are all great substitutes, and I mean, so why would you try sugar if you've got all these substitutes that are going to be, really good for you?
And just Google, I need 2 cups of sugar for my muffins. How much applesauce do I use, or how much stevia do I use? That's what Google's for, right?
Along the dessert lines, if you guys eat peanut butter, if you're a big peanut butter fan, I used to love peanut butter and jelly, and I have gone from peanut butter and jelly to peanut butter and honey, or not peanut butter, but almond butter. Mm-hmm. So it is such a great substitute. Peanut butter is not the worst thing for you, but almond butter is way better as far as its fat profile is better. It's got way more nutrients. It's about even the same on protein, and it doesn't have the aflatoxins that have been connected to cancer. Because it's not stored the same way, and so
actually too, the peanut allergy that kids have. Did you guys know this? A lot of people that are allergic to peanuts are really not allergic to peanuts. They're allergic to whatever that word is. That comes from the way they store the peanuts. So nuts are really good for you. Nuts are a great source of fat, but peanut is the one that you should kind of try to stay away from.
Yeah, get away from that one.
Also too, while we're talking about desserts, is dark chocolate. If you guys have a sweet tooth, and I think you guys know that I've talked about, I grew up eating Hy-Vee's donuts for breakfast every morning, and all through my 20s I would go to Casey's and get either breakfast pizza and a cookie or both every single day. I'm not even joking. So I totally understand that. I love sugar, but I have substituted all these and gotten used to that over the last years. And then we eat a lot of dark chocolate at our house if we're having a craving for sugar. If you don't like dark chocolate, start with something really low. Like the dark chocolate chips are the lowest. Then you can get like something that's 60% and they go up to 70. I think we're at 86% now.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about dark chocolate is you just have one little square, and because it's so strong and has a little bit of a bitter, it will fulfill you don't want any sugar after that. And I actually don't eat sugar anymore at all. Like I had one of those little tiny chocolate nuggets, milk chocolate. I actually spit it in the trash because it tasted so gross to me. Again, you guys, it's just about reprogramming your body and what you're used to.
Yeah.
So, too, if you like chocolate, brownie hummus is really yummy treat. And dark chocolate almond milk is really great if you're craving some chocolate. Just have a glass of dark chocolate almond milk. It's delicious.
That's great stuff.
Speaking of drinks, talk a little bit about pop. I know you guys know that I struggled with that for years and years.
Some people call it soda.
Soda, whatever, Coke, whatever you call it. Kombucha is my little secret. I'm actually drinking one right now. There's a bunch of different brands and they're all good, but this is my favorite one. GTS Kombucha. This is actually in Chillicothe. This is in aisle 8 at Hy-Vee in the refrigerator. They have it at Walmart. They have it everywhere. But it's really good. It tastes carbonated, and it's actually really good for you as well. The Oh, did you get that matcha? Go get that matcha tea.
I don't want to get much tea.
Well,
It's
if you
way
show
up in
them
the
what
cabinet.
it looks like. Okay. Well, why don't you just go get it really quick while I'm talking about this? Okay, so obviously you know the good substitutes. Green tea, herbal tea. Try to stay away from black tea if you can. It's not as healthy for you. But if you like hot tea, I really want to switch to hot tea, but I struggle with it because it's a little bit too watery for me. So I actually will add a little bit of almond milk to it and either a little bit of natural honey or a little bit of almond creamer. Will you grab that almond creamer too, hun? To my tea, and that actually makes the tea a little bit thicker, so I enjoy it a little bit more too. Also, coffee was my best friend when I was drinking pop, trying to get off of pop. But what happened is I started drinking like 3 pots of coffee a day, which trading one bad habit for the other. Coffee is really good for you, but not obviously 3 pots of it. So I switched to espresso. That's a stronger coffee bean, obviously. And what happens with that is because it's so strong, it tastes really good. And when you're done with 1 cup, you don't want it anymore. So if you can get an espresso machine or even those Nespresso with the pods, those work really great. Or just get, will you grab the espresso too, please? If you get espresso coffee and just make it in your coffee pot and make it really, really strong, like maybe 6 big tablespoons full with about 2 or 3 ounces of water, just a small amount. And then when you put in your coffee cup, you're only going to have like this much of the coffee because it's really, really strong. And then mix it with your almond milk. And then this is the best creamer. Now, this is not the very best thing in the world for you, but I'm not ready to give up my creamer. And this it's dairy-free, lactose-free, gluten-free, soy-free, carcinogen-free, no saturated fat, cholesterol-free, no artificial colors. So it's about as healthy as you can get unless you want to make it yourself. So the Silk Almond Creamer is the very best that I have found that actually is somewhat healthy for you and actually tastes really, really good. So get off your pop because that is obviously full of sugar, and especially if it's diet pop, that's even worse for you. That stuff will kill you. This is the espresso that we love. It's really, really inexpensive. And it tastes delicious. But yeah, a cup of espresso with your almond milk and your almond creamer in it, you're good for the day. And then you can switch to water. And if you don't like water, what I found is just opening the water, forcing myself to drink it because I was not a water fan. But once you do have that drink of water, you guys know how it is. Nothing else can satisfy you after the water. So just force yourself to drink it. I think that's all I have so far on the drinks.
Okay.
You want to talk about oils?
Yeah, we're going to talk about
important.
we're going to talk about cooking with different type of oils. So just like with the sugar, if you haven't gotten rid of your sugar, do that. If you are still cooking with vegetable oil, stop that right now because it's terrible for you. It's got these saturated fats, these polysaturated fats, and they are terrible for your arteries. They are clogging your arteries. They're causing heart disease. Get rid of that crap. It's cheap, and it's also it's got a terrible shelf life. So if you keep it under your shelf and you don't use it a lot, it gets rancid. And so if you ever tasted rancid oil, you know how bad that is. So get rid of your vegetable oil and sub out with extra virgin olive oil. I know this is not, you've probably all heard of this, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. This is the best stuff to cook with. Number 1, the flavor is fantastic.
It's really, really good.
And number 2, the fat content is good fats. It doesn't have saturated fats, and so it's going to be a better alternative for you. So make sure you've got extra virgin olive oil. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's not like you're buying it every single day, okay? And it's worth the investment. It's worth the investment. Some people like to cook with coconut oil. It's got a kind of an interesting flavor as well. And there are conflicting. Whenever coconut oil first came out, there were all kinds of benefits people were talking about, but now they're starting to look at it and say, does it have the same kind of benefits as they said? And so I'm kind of leaning towards the olive oil and have kind of gone away from the coconut oil, but it's better than it's better than the vegetable oil. So make the conversion to that whenever you're cooking with the oils.
Yeah, that's really, really important. Laura, is that English hot tea? Is that a green tea, an herbal tea, or a black tea? Do you know? If so, let us know the brand. I know you're supposed to stay away from the black tea if at all possible. And Whitney, I agree. I love the carbonated water as well. Make sure that, and you probably know this, but make sure that you're looking at the ingredients and making sure that they don't add a bunch of sugar or the really bad fake sugar. Actually, in the group, I'm going to put a list of the bad fake sugars because the information changes all the time, and I'll give you the most current because the bad fake sugar is worse than the real thing, actually. So I'll put a list of that in the group. So join the group if you haven't already, and we'll make sure that you're drinking the right stuff. Here is the matcha tea. Now, I don't drink this. I haven't got there yet. And I think it's because it's green. I don't know why. But Lance really likes it.
I like it because it's green, because it has got the prettiest color, and it's kind of a process to make it. You kind of mix it up, and it kind of froths. It's got a really interesting taste. It's not too strong, but the health benefits of it are fantastic. So it's not really too much. I mean, it doesn't taste like coffee, obviously, but
Does it taste like tea?
Ish. It's thicker. It's thicker than that.
I will try it and let y'all know.
Yeah. So I won't say it's an acquired taste, but it's something you kind of.
There's just a lot of health benefits if you're looking for a substitute for your pop. Okay, and the last thing I think that we're talking about tonight is dairy. Dairy is just okay. Now we do still do some dairy in our house. We do Greek yogurt. All natural Greek yogurt is the best yogurt. We do eggs, and we do.
Eggs aren't really dairy.
Yeah, I guess eggs aren't really dairy. I think, is that it? Is that all we do?
That's all I think.
I think that's all we do. Greek yogurt is really good. I haven't given that up because the live cultures in the Greek yogurt is so good for you as far as just preventing illness. You guys know that. But if you are trying to get healthier or get your kids healthier and you're grabbing the yogurts at the store, check them out because there's chances are there is a lot of sugar in there or a lot of fake sugar in there. So if you get the plain Greek yogurt, you can add your berries, you can add your strawberries, and get your kids involved in the kitchen. We found that the more involved they are, the more likely they are to eat better. So Piper, gosh, she makes smoothies at least once a day.
Yeah.
And she puts a little protein powder in there, and she puts all her fruits and vegetables, and she uses almond milk, and now every time her friend comes over, she makes everyone smoothies. I don't think they're quite as excited about them as she is, but get your kids in there, let them make their own yogurt, let them pick their fruit. You can put a little honey in there for sweetener, and that helps a lot. Also, your Greek yogurt is really great for sour cream, if you guys are sour cream people. So that tastes just like sour cream. As far as milk, there's a lot of studies out there that are conflicting. Some people say you gotta have your milk, some people say don't drink milk. The bottom line is what your body uses to break down the milk, you no longer produce that after you're a toddler.
Lactase.
The lactase. That's why there's so many people that are lactose intolerant or that can't do a lot of dairy. I talked to my doctor, my personal doctor. I've also researched and talked to holistic doctors, nutritionists, and fitness experts. And most people say it's just basically at the end of the day, it's unnecessary. Mm-hmm. So unless you're just in love with milk, stop drinking it for calcium because it's unnecessary. You can get as much calcium from eating healthy than you can from milk. Actually, Harvard did a study. I think it was 77,000 different women in their 30s through their 50s. And they found that the women that drank 2 glasses of milk a day actually had a higher risk of osteoporosis and more broken bones than the women who drank 1 cup or less a day. So if you're going to drink milk, at least limit it. Or maybe what I do now, I do like a good glass of milk every once in a while. So if we have chili, I always tell Lance to pick up a half gallon of milk, a small amount, so I won't overdrink it. He doesn't like it. I like a glass of milk if we're having a cheat day and I'm having cookies or with chili, and that's it. So maybe find a meal that you really love milk with and only buy it for that meal. If you're a milk lover, if you're not, just quit drinking it because you don't need it. There's also a lot of casein in milk and casein in cheese, and that is also cancer connected. Actually, I think I have, this is one of my favorite books. Sorry.
That's all right. Got it.
Prescription for Life by Dr. Furman. I'll also add this to this week's list in the group. This guy was a heart surgeon, and he started finding a lot of people when he would, cut into their arteries and things like that. So many issues with clogging arteries, and he said if you're going to give up one thing in the whole entire world, it should be cheese. And I know some of you out there who love cheese and they think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to give up cheese. Okay, well, when we order pizza, when we do every once in a while, we aren't crazy.
We take the cheese off.
We do not take the cheese off. We eat the cheese. But we just stopped buying cheese and stopped consuming it in large amounts. And I didn't think that was something I could give up. But you guys, if you stop and think about it, cheese kind of tastes like nothing. It really doesn't have a flavor. So when we make like a Chipotle bowl at our house, and we put the quinoa and we put the rice and the beans and the tomatoes and the salsa and the sour cream and all that stuff, you do not even miss the cheese. If you don't believe me, make 2 different bowls, put cheese in one and not in the other. You can't. It tastes like nothing. So that's something I've been able to let go of because, well, I really want to live. So there's that. Yeah. But really, it's not that good as you think it is once you get over it. Talking about casein, we talked about, I think that was it. Bad for your heart. So if you have any questions on the dairy, as far as the health information and the studies and stuff like that, send me a message and I'll send you more information on that. I think that's all we were going to talk about tonight.
Yeah. And we've thrown a lot at you.
I'm going to show this really quick.
Oh, yeah.
This is really...
We're going to throw some more at you.
Yeah. Did you talk about this?
I didn't.
We forgot one thing. This is really important. We found this is flaxseed, chia seed, and hemp seed all together. Mm-hmm. And the brand is...
Badia.
Badia.
You get your bifocals out.
I do. I need glasses. Anyway, I put this in everything. I put this in my yogurt. I put this in my salads. I put this on my sandwiches. I put this in my smoothies. My kids put this in their smoothies.
Do you want me to talk about it?
Well, I'll talk about it. Flaxseed, actually, I've read a lot of stories about flaxseed as a cancer. It's been people who have had cancer who have been able to reverse their cancer by consuming a lot of flaxseed. So that's really good for you. Also, chia seeds. Chia seeds, actually, it's kind of gross, but I'm just going to put it out there because it's important. Okay, so ladies, when we mask our face and it's flaky and our pores are getting clogged and you use kind of like a scrub on your face and it kind of just pulls all that dead toxins off your face. That is what chia seeds do for your colon. They literally will roll down your colon tube and any oils and nastiness and bacteria and toxins and anything that's left behind from the food that we've eaten, whether it's good or bad, it kind of rolls along there and it just gathers it, almost kind of like a magnet, and that helps keep that clean. So I would just throw that in everything every single day. It doesn't have any taste at all, and it's pretty inexpensive too, so it's really great for your heart. So I'll add that to the list.
It's better than enema, so.
That is true. That is true.
Check on that one.
All right, guys, I think that's it for tonight. We're going to post a link this week in the group with all these great substitutes. And if anyone has found any other substitutes, please let us know because we would love to share them with the group.
The one thing I want you to take away from this, aside from all this stuff that is good for you, these little changes, is that this is more about, instead of taking away the things that you love, this is more about adding or substituting things that are going to be good for you, and your mindset of, hey, what can I do to really make myself healthier? Do yourself a favor, okay? Because right now, with the stuff a lot of you are maybe still consuming, you're not doing yourself any favors. Do yourself a favor. Take care to make these small changes, and even if the taste is just a little bit, there's a little learning curve there, if you will, you'll get used to it, and you will thank yourself every day. And I can guarantee if you make these changes, you'll feel a ton better than you did before you did that.
Yeah, you'll feel really good too. And also, just speaking on mindset too, don't say, I don't eat sugar, I can't have sugar. Just say, I drink this, I drink water, I'm a water drinker, I'm a kombucha drinker. Like, say it with empowerment and say, I don't put sugar in my body. Say it in a positive way, because I think for me that helps, because I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I'm just like, I don't eat sugar. I almost feel like I'm kind of, a little bit of a badass when I say that.
I only eat natural sugars. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I was going to say I only use natural. Anyways, we're rambling on. Thanks for tuning in. We'll put the list in the group. You guys have a great week.
Yeah. See ya.
See you next Sunday.